Yeah, you too, Jim. How are you? So this is going to be a gorgeous day. Although the weird smoke is kind of making me question what exactly is on fire. It's brought to you by Black Diamond Experts Electric Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Everything
is on fire.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Okay, coming up this
And
morning.
we're going to talk about that later coming up and how that's going to affect the eclipse.
Oh, coming up this morning, guess who Lindsay picked on The Bachelorette last night?
Mm-hmm. Who's drinking beer in a desert to survive?
Do you know where we go on vacation as Utahns? And yes, Disneyland is up there, but not the only one.
And the weirdest thing about games is Game of Thrones. The weirdest fact.
Game of Thrones?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited. I had no idea.
All right, what are we doing?
Okay,
Bachelor?
Well, let's start with The Bachelor just because it was kind of interesting. Lindsay, of course, the first African-American contestant. She's beautiful and adorable.
How did that happen? I mean, it's been on for how many years?
Because it defies all laws of reality. Let's be honest here. It does.
The first African-American woman on a show.
And she's so freaking adorable. Well, she ended up picking Brian, which probably doesn't surprise anybody, even though when she went for the family visit, as you recall, his mother told her, if you hurt my son, I'll kill you.
Just a little
which
reminder.
Which to me seems, an awkward start.
Right.
But Peter Krause broke tradition. Usually it's the two guys who get out of the limousine, but they had a talk before, and she said, look, if you're not ready to propose, don't come. I mean, I don't even worry about it. And so he left, and they had that Bachelorette tells all contestants thing afterwards, and it was tense. It was extremely icy because he had told her, your life without me will be mediocre. And she's like, I'm living my best life, and it doesn't include you.
I'm here to find true love on TV.
I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I think the women are the only ones to ever have any luck in the end.
My mom watched this show, and when I found out
religiously,
when I found out my mom watched this show,
why did that frighten you so much?
Because she's like this super conservative New England woman.
She was a well-bred Yankee woman.
Oh my gosh! And all of a sudden, Bachelor is like, woo, hot tubs.
I thought it was adorable. I don't care. All right. Well, here's a really kind of high-stress anxiety moment. Let's say that you're cleaning out Granddad's closet.
Okay, Granddad, thanks.
And they collect everything. That's just the way it is. And so his daughter was going through one of the closets, and she found a World War II mortar shell.
Oh, a lot of them brought them home from the war and stuff.
Yeah, like a souvenir, because it is. It's incredible.
And they sell them at different places at pawn shops. You can find them.
Except this one's live.
Okay, that's not what you're supposed to have.
Yeah, it was live
in your closet.
The police said the mortar was brought over by the man as a quote trophy after fighting in World War II, and that it had a safety on it, but the safety had rusted off. So the area near the home was blocked off as a Unified Fire Authority bomb unit could safely remove it from the home. Surprise!
So he transported a mortar.
Yes.
Like, who allowed this to happen?
Across
the ocean.
Pond. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and brought it to his hometown and stuck it. He probably had it on display for a while.
That's what I'm guessing, like on the mantle somewhere until his wife quietly tucked it in the closet somewhere.
Pull that pin out.
You mean the one that had already rusted out?
People brought the weirdest things home. Just talk about World War II. There's stories of quartermasters. They're the ones who give you all your canteens and all that stuff, who actually mailed a Jeep home in pieces. That's why Jeeps became so famous.
That Jeep, didn't you?
This is why Jeeps became so famous after the war, and everybody wanted one because they went everywhere. And so piece by piece, fender by fender, engine, everything was sent back home. When he got there, he put it together. And he had a Jeep.
That is freaking amazing.
It is freaking amazing. You want to talk about freaking scary?
Tell me.
Okay, so self-driving cars, right? How do you feel about it?
I'm still on the fence.
Okay.
I have a really big issue about trusting my kids' lives to. I mean, I can barely trust them with my own, and I'm paying attention. I have no idea what the self-driving car is doing.
They're already talking about self-flying planes,
Really?
That just seems wrong.
Yeah, that is definitely wrong.
That seems really wrong. Like, could they land on the Hudson?
No.
They would have tried.
Captain Sully, where are you? And we need you.
They would have tried to go all the way back to the airport and. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. So explain about self-driving cars, though. Okay. What's your question?
We've all seen stop signs, right? And it says "Stop War," those kind of things.
Stop eating animals. Yeah.
That's a little long, but yeah,
that kind of thing. Stickers from PETA, stop eating animals. I put a couple of those.
Well, those stickers are going to thin out the crowd for humans because the self-driving cars, they look at the sign. they confuse the control, and to them,
it alters the sign for them.
yeah, that sign says 45 miles an hour
Wow.
at a stop sign
Wow.
because they've altered it. And it can be a simple sticker. A simple sticker could do it.
That's a little scary.
Right? So anyway, yeah, love, stop, yeah. 45 miles an hour into an intersection.
Love, stop killing me.
Right?
I think it's something like that, maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was cool.
That's not cool. That's like really genuinely horrifying.
That's why I'm not going to drive
All right.
one of those cars.
Tell me something good. I think this is much better. All right. Imagine your first day on the job.
Uh-huh.
You're working for American Airlines. You're a customer service manager.
Did you say the first day?
Mm-hmm. First day, and customer service managers, let's be honest, most of your time is spent from people screaming at you because they missed their flight or the flight was late.
By the way,
blah,
if you're
blah, blah.
screaming at someone, you have no manners.
It really is very rude, but people go insane in airports. And so Christopher Hatcher was sort of like prepared for that, right? He was there. And so he was working
First
at
day.
the Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina. And then he was just working there at his desk when someone crumpled in front of him.
What do you mean crumpled?
Crumpled to the ground. So he raced around his desk,
Okay.
and it's Paul Gianelli. He's passed out on the ground from a heart attack. So Hatcher used to be a volunteer firefighter, so he started conducting CPR.
First day on the job.
Yeah, exactly. CPR, and it's a lot of work. If you've done it before, it's incredibly exhausting. It's extreme, adrenaline and energy.
Should we teach them how?
And he did this for a good...
Staying alive. Staying alive. That's the speed
That's
you have
the
to
same
do it
rhythm,
at.
yeah. And so he did this for 20 minutes before paramedics managed to arrive, and the paramedics said he would be dead without you.
That is a long time.
Saved a life.
Well, good. There you go. Gets an award.
And his wife is weeping and just grateful. Thank you
Great.
for saving my husband. I'm
Get
so
an
grateful.
award. He goes back to his desk, and the day moves on.
Well, and then, of course, the thing that is a little awkward, though, is after they'd resuscitated, somebody else collapsed while they were busy about 2 gates down. And so... Poor Christopher went, all right. So he went running down there with his wobbly arms and once again started doing resuscitation.
What?
This person had passed out from, I think it was a combination of altitude sickness and medication. Also performed CPR until the next round of paramedics was able to come. So literally first day of the job.
First day.
First freaking day of the job. And this poor man managed to
Saves
save two
people.
He's like, I don't know if I can keep this up.
I blame Cinnabons. That's just because they're the size of your head.
Cream cheese frosting.
All right,
It's gonna get you every time.
coming up, things that you learned in school that are totally false. It's fake news. That's going to be coming up.
Okay, well, let's go to Daisy. She is in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom with the real news. It's brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Take the 4-minute mortgage challenge at fink-mcgregor.com. Also, executive transportation. Our friend March drives celebrities. He drives rich people, and he can drive you anywhere you like. Just go to executiveutah.com to book your ride. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 24-hour service, and trust me, you're going to need it sometime. AllUtahPlumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Tuesday, August 8th on GephardtDaily.com. Police have now identified the victim of an explosion and fire which tore through a Murray apartment complex Sunday. Investigators say 66-year-old Judy Pedersen died in the aftermath of an apparent natural gas explosion in her Winchester Street apartment. 2 other people were injured when they jumped from the 3rd-story balconies in order to escape the flames. 8 units in the complex were heavily damaged, while 13 residents were forced from their homes. 2 people are dead and 3 others injured after a rollover crash in Daggett County. The accident happened around 5 p.m. Monday when a Chrysler minivan driven by 48-year-old Mark Matthews swerved and rolled on Route 44. Matthews and a passenger, identified as Sage Edson, were thrown from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. 2 females and an 11-year-old boy were injured in the crash, with conditions ranging from minor to serious. And Salt Lake City police are beefing up their presence in the Rio Grande homeless district. The department made the decision to triple the number of police patrolling the area after 3 homicides there in the last 3 weeks. The majority of the new police muscle is being deployed overnight in an attempt to thwart rampant drug dealing in the area. And now a quick look at your Wasatch Front weather, where we'll see temperatures in the mid-80s and lower 90s for the next few days. Low temps will be in the upper 60s and a 20% chance of rain Tuesday and Wednesday and 10% Thursday. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to gebhardtdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. All right, Fink and McGregor. It was very fun. I was hanging out with Just Out the other day, who is neither Fink nor McGregor, but actually runs Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. And we were talking about all the different kinds of mortgages, and it's interesting. There is one that pretty much everybody can qualify for. And people don't know that because basically if you're going to a bank or a couple of different places, they have one option for you. Go, this is it, take it or leave it. And then it's going to take them 4 months to put it all together for you, and it's going to be like $8,000 to $10,000 in closing costs, and you're going to come out of there feeling like vaguely violated because really they go through everything. Or you could just go to fink-mcgregor.com. You could take 4 minutes and you could go through and see some of your mortgage options. And then if you like, they can call you back within 1 business day and get you all set up. It's really that simple. And when he says mortgages made simple, that's actually what he means because he knows all of these things. You don't have to because he's the guru. He'll just basically go through all your options with you. Now, walk out of there feeling happy. You've got your place. You feel good. And you didn't have to do the whole weird bank thing where everything was sort of touched and picked over. That's weird.
You're weird.
Think-McGregor.com. Mortgages made simple. Well, it felt like that. We've had that done to us before.
I can't even talk to you because I've been lied to my entire life.
You're feeling violated right now?
By teachers who... Where did they get this stuff? Einstein was a bad student. No.
Everybody said that, though.
He got straight A's in everything he did. Even recess. He was brilliant.
That seems strange they lied about it.
Left and right-brained people. Fake.
What do you
Fake
mean?
facts. There is no left and right. There's certain things in their brain that we're going to talk about.
No, there's functions,
men
though,
and
that are
women's
controlled in
brains.
the left and right hemispheres, though.
Certain ones.
Certain brain functions,
but
yeah.
you're not a right or left person.
All right, Dad. Whatever.
We're going to talk about that coming up, men's and women's brains and how they're different.
Okay.
You'll be astounded by that. Ostriches do not bury their head in the sand. Ostriches know what to do. They're 7-foot tall birds and they play dead.
They drop to the ground and
Just drop to the ground and play dead.
Oh, okay, that would make more sense.
And if you throw a coin off the Empire State Building, it will not kill someone.
Really? It doesn't go to a velocity that's
It's like 50 miles an hour. It'll hurt.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But it won't sink into your brain. Again, brains today. We're talking a lot. King Arthur did not exist. Napoleon...
Oh, don't tell a British person that.
Sorry, Daisy. Napoleon was not short. How tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
You're shorter than Napoleon.
How tall was Napoleon?
5'7". And then during 5'7", during that time...
Was quite normal for men,
That's quite normal.
Yeah.
And they
by
called
today's
him,
standards, he would be short, but not by then, you're right.
And they called him Little General because of his ranking, not because of his size.
I did not know that.
Gladiators did not fight to the death most of the time. They were
Really?
like, yeah, they just went out and... Are you okay?
All right, yeah, I got a bad scrape. Let's just wrap this up. Let's go have something to drink.
Right. Let's
Okay, that's
rub
good.
some dirt on it.
I feel a lot better about that one, to be honest.
Vincent van Gogh did not cut off his ear. He cut off a little piece of his lobe.
Why even the lobe?
His lobe. I don't know why. They didn't burn witches either in Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh, thank the good Lord, because that one's always haunted me.
They do that in Europe. Vikings don't have horns on their helmets.
Well, they didn't, because there really aren't any of them now. But
Well, when they were around.
when they were marauders.
Artists made that happen. Yeah, dogs can't look up. What movie is that from?
You know that's from Hot Fuzz.
Oh, that's right.
Dogs can too look up.
Betsy Ross did not sew the first American flag. Paul Revere was not the only one to ride from the Old North Church to say the British are coming because there was a guy named Dobbs. He fell off his horse.
Man, you must be feeling really depressed right now because a lot of these are like New Englandy where you're all proud of this.
Edison did not invent the light bulb, the first arc light bulb.
Oh, yeah.
Sir Humphrey Davy, 40 years before.
You look so disillusioned right now. I had no idea this would affect you like this.
Been lied to, and I'm going to hold a grudge. Maybe that explains a lot about me. Coming up, women's brains.
Sorry, babe.
Why your brain is different than mine.
Okay, so here we go with Christopher's. Now, if you want the utter deliciousness of Christopher's, and there's no better way to thank you for watching the morning stream than with, with meat, we would like to send you there. So we're going to send you and 3 of your friends, and you're going to be sent via executive transportation. So you get your lovely limo ride. You're all taken care of. You have an amazing night. You get to talk and enjoy each other and have a great time, something you haven't done for a long time. And it's simply because you watched the morning stream and kind of held your nausea. Now, all you need to do in order to qualify is there's always a timestamp as you're watching this. Just make a comment right now about Christopher's, and that will tell us that you were watching the show around this time when we talked about Christopher's. And if you do that, then you're then officially qualified. Now, of course, you can do that on our Facebook page, Todd and Erin, or in Gephardt Daily's Facebook page, or Gephardt Approved. So good luck. Coming up next,
women's brains against men's
ours are
brains.
bigger.
Something's
Much
different.
bigger.
It's coming up next.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgage is made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at GephardtDaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
So, female brains. They did a study, scientists did a study of those CAT scans, right? Mm-hmm. 46,000 of them.
That's a lot of CAT scans.
That's very comprehensive, right? And they were comparing different parts of the brain and things like that. They know that women have more Alzheimer's than men.
I did not know that.
Yes, it is true. And
Something
men,
to do with the plaque, as I remember. Okay.
something, yeah. But it's the largest functional brain imaging survey ever conducted.
And what does it suggest?
The scan can measure blood flow through the brain, identifying regions of the heightened neurological activity in a massive data set, allowed researchers to identify gender differences in brain structure.
Would you like to say the concluding factor?
Read that, please.
The quantifiable differences we identify between men and women are important for understanding gender-based risk for brain disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. This is according to Dr. Daniel Amann, who's a psychiatrist at the Amann Clinics in California. He says using functional neuroimaging tools such as SPECT, we're essential to developing precision medicine brain treatments for the future. Interesting, they said that vision and coordination were more likely active among men. That's cool. Women, however, overall, women's brains were more active than men's.
And do you know why they were more active?
Why were they more active?
Because, well, where is it? Oh, women, females, or Alzheimer's, and depression, while men are more likely to experience conduct-related problems and end up in prison.
Interesting.
So you're sad. I'm in prison.
Well, no, but it totally makes sense. You see this like with this incredibly high stress moment, a woman sitting here weeping hopelessly and brokenly by herself, and a guy's tearing off all his clothes and running screaming down the street. I mean,
Hey! Don't share stories. It was
that actually makes sense.
It was almost dark. Desert beer.
Is that different than other beers?
Desert beer. Yes.
Okay.
So he got stranded. This guy went down to Arizona.
Okay.
Wanted to go on an adventure. So he went driving. He went to the store, and on the way back, he took the wrong turn and ended up on this old dirt road in the desert. And he went, "This is kind of cool."
That's a really big wrong turn.
Yeah. So he kept going. The dirt roads are fun. He's out in the desert, cacti going by, and rabbits going by, and he keeps going. And next thing you know, he gets his truck stuck. And he couldn't turn around because he's on a ledge.
Ooh, high sensory.
So he's hanging out and he's thinking, okay, I got air conditioning, which he did. I got enough gas. So he stays there for the first day. Got a little thirsty. Had some tonic water in the back.
Wouldn't you wait at nighttime and then try to walk out?
Had some beer. And then... thinking about his bleached bones on the desert. Second day, he starts to hike out, but it gets too hot. So he goes back, and at this point, the water and the beer are gone. Party! So, third day, he works his way, and he works his way out, and he still had beer left. But if it wasn't for beer, the man would be dead.
You're really telling me this man's life was saved from beer? Okay, this is just me, but if you do have a straight road and you knew that that road actually went back to civilization, wouldn't you have waited to the first night, put your beer and your tonic water on your back, and walked out of there?
Don't confuse them with
your
facts
life-saving liquids?
and
So basically, this guy was a drunk who just basically sat on his butt in his truck and drank until somebody found him.
he's going to be a millionaire. This guy is going to be a millionaire
Why would that be?
because he just came up with a perfect diet plan.
Get trapped in the desert and drink beer?
3 days, lost 14 pounds.
See, that is a man thing again. If that had been me in the desert and all I had to do was drink beer and tonic water, I would have gained 10 pounds.
14 pounds.
That is such a man thing.
In 3 days. He's going to be a millionaire. Of course,
What,
you have to go...
The desert beer diet? First, get trapped in the desert. Then, yeah, that's great. That really works out. You know, this is interesting. I think you might have heard this by now because the reveal came out, but Sully County Mayor Ben McAdams wanted to find out really what was going down at the Rio Grande area because everyone knows there's been massive homicides. They've tripled the police presence.
I just drove by it yesterday.
Ridiculous amount of violence.
And Fifth West is just... And there are people preying on the homeless. I mean, that's kind of
This is
basically
what's
what
so
we're talking
heartbreaking.
about.
Yeah, it is not the homeless population specifically that is causing the problem. It's drug dealers, it's criminal elements, it's people who prey on the weakest in our society, which tend to be the homeless for a myriad of reasons. So he wanted to see kind of what was going on, so he said he went undercover over a weekend in March. He went with a county employee, and he said that he witnessed the violence and the drug use, heartbreaking scenes with families with their exhaustion of just trying to find food and shelter. And you think about that, when you are homeless, and the few that I've had the honor to speak with, and we will be talking to a couple of girls this week who were homeless, your entire day is basically spent in increments of time. Of how long are you going to be allowed to spend in this place before they kick you out? How long can you go to this air-conditioned place? You know all of the locations of bathrooms in that area that you're allowed to go to.
And if there are free meals being taken care
and then
of.
waiting on when you're allowed back in the shelter. I mean, these are all things, and this is how your life is spent.
Mm-hmm.
And with something like that, there's no time, there's no room really for you to be going, okay, I'm going to go get dressed up, take a nice shower, dress up, and go find a job. But
so what was the mayor's experience?
he said it was a fact-finding mission and not a publicity stunt. But there were some criticisms because they said, well, you know, those were resources other people could have used. And he immediately sent a donation going, yeah, okay, here, thank you.
There you go.
But while some community leaders are saying this is a good effort, thank you for at least trying to understand what's happening, the Road Home Shelter's executive director said, could you please not do that anymore, anybody else, because that takes beds away from the needy. Because they are full to capacity every single night. But I do admire him for doing that, and I think that the fact that he was trying to understand the situation better, because he's been one of the people who's been spearheading where are we going to put these resource centers for the homeless.
Isn't that where the 7200 South, is he the mayor of that area?
Well, he's mayor of all of that area. But But yeah, the
Because you've seen that shelter?
Yeah, they rebuilt the women and children's shelter in 7200 South. It's great.
It used to be a warehouse, and now it's got all the facilities. It's got a lot of things that the families can use, and it's only for women and kids.
I'm going to bust Todd, though, because there's Winco right by there. And so every time Todd shops there, he will go pick up, like, crayons and coloring books. And go pick up diapers. Sizes 4, 5, and 6, because you cannot potty train a toddler if you don't have ready access to a bathroom. And he always drops them off at the shelter.
Yeah.
I love you for that very much.
Things I should have.
Okay.
Men over 40.
Oh, is this like a definitive list of it? You have to have these things in order to be able to celebrate this era?
I'm sorry, but it's a very short list. I'm rather disappointed.
You were hoping for more, like fulfillment?
Yeah.
The meaning of life?
No.
Loving wife and children?
No. A sandwich dispenser. Something like that. Here's the list that these people came up with because they're different. A toolbox.
Oh, that's a given. I would think so. But I think women need that too.
I have that.
Honey, you've got 4,073 toolboxes.
Has to.
I know because we packed them when we moved.
Has to include at least one hammer. I have 6. Tape measure. I have 4. Just can't find them. Level. I have 4. Different types of screwdrivers. Got it. Yeah.
It says not enough to build a boat, but enough tools to hang a picture without needing to call Dad.
Right.
See, we did pictures the other day, and you did.
Okay, so, yay. How about some funner stuff? How about, a bottle of expensive booze?
Would this be like a well-aged scotch, perhaps? Or
Ugh. Okay, you've got a bottle of booze now and
Well,
a
it says you're
toolbox,
already-
which are a really bad combination, by the way. Seriously. Chef knives.
Oh, that's important to you, though. Your set of Henkels was a big deal.
I have those and have had them for 25 years. Your favorite chair that no one else can touch. Those don't look comfortable enough.
Oh, club chairs, those are beautiful.
I do now have a comfortable place, because Erin bought me a sectional. Everything against her taste and sense of fashion. She bought me a sectional.
Have you ever seen a sectional in a home decor magazine or on Pinterest? No, because they're hideous and they just ate your entire living room.
It's 20 feet across. Yeah, but our friends came over and they were painting and working on one of their apartments. And they came over and we fed them, and they've been working all day. They hit that sectional, and I got to tell you, oh yeah, they were like asleep.
Well, the sad part is all four of us were laying on it, and there was still plenty of room
Oh,
between
yeah.
us to wedge the kids in there.
Now we could have had all the Osmonds there with us.
Pretty much at this point.
I-
Okay, what else?
A camera.
You have a nice camera.
I do have a camera. So the only thing I'm missing is the,
Expensive booze?
yeah, I guess.
Because we don't really...
Yeah, okay. Well, that's a
Do you feel
horrible...
fulfilled?
No, that's a horrible list.
Well, okay, what were the two things that you would have added to that were
Maserati.
No, be serious.
Something.
Be serious. What
All
were the
right.
two things that should have been on that list? The air conditioning is so cold in this room, I can't feel my fingers. I'm this close to putting my hands under my armpits, so if you see it, please don't be offended. I'm really cold.
You're going to use mine. I don't know. But that list is like insulting. Because I would like something else. I don't know what it is.
Like a well-established IRA or
Oh, yeah,
a
money would be
prosperous
awesome.
401k or
But here,
you've
this,
owned your own home.
the statement they're making is you made it till 40, have the toolbox. It just doesn't seem right.
Sorry you feel betrayed by that.
I do.
I had no idea it would be so hard on you.
Oh, this thing
All
coming
right,
up
Coming
next.
next. Is this the Game of Thrones thing?
It is. And
Okay.
you'll go, what?
Really?
Yeah. The next time you watch it, you'll go, what?
I'm so excited. Okay.
Next.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com.
All right, I did not know, and I guess this just makes sense, but I never thought of it. The security, like HBO has, Game of Thrones, like, so their plot line,
Oh, it's a nightmare.
it's who gets it,
They
where,
have the hardest time.
and they, I mean, think of it, with the internet, there'd be spoilers everywhere, and there are on certain shows. So certain people have leaked the
Oh,
information out.
there's some that are huge.
But you
Game
don't
of
wanna
Thrones
hear.
is always a spoiler. Walking Dead always has spoilers. So does. Oh, don't you remember they pre-released the entire season of Orange is the New Black? Somebody hacked it and actually pulled a pre-release on it. It was so cruel.
That is so cruel, but people who really like the show will go, nah, 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 because no one wants to know that.
Oh no, I totally want to know. I'll always do that. I
Michelle-
will always have a spoiler.
Michelle Clapton, she was the wardrobe design person for, it's in the 7th season now, and she was there for about 3 years.
Boy, that's can you imagine all of those medieval clothing? That's amazing.
And she goes, she actually wanted you to smell them through the television. So when she dirtied them up and stuff like that. And if you think of it, they're all wearing those big capes and those, big going to the
Long
snow.
robes and yeah,
and,
because winter is coming.
That's my
Yeah, what was that?
That's my medieval thing. But if you look right now, look at this guy.
Jon Snow
Yeah, Jon Snow.
wearing fur.
Yeah.
Face is all messed up.
Where did he get the fur?
From a yak or something. I don't know.
Keep going. Where did he get it? Where did he buy it? Where did he buy it?
I don't think Jon Snow bought it. I think a servant bought it, right?
Yeah. IKEA.
Explain.
I love it.
This is epic. Explain this.
So next time you watch, and they have the fur collars, right?
Yeah.
Or the whole thing. they didn't want to go with faux fur because in the stores because it looked so cheesy.
It peels up, yeah.
But the lady the designer was in IKEA, and she looked over, and they had these furry
furry
mats.
pillows.
These furry mats and stuff, and they're on a budget too.
That's so cool.
And they have to keep coming up with, they all have their basic dress, but then they have to come up with special stuff.
Yeah.
And so she went to IKEA and she bought it, and then she treated it and designed it.
Brilliant.
Isn't that awesome?
No way! Scott and Amy are going, you're kidding me!
No,
I know,
it's
right?
true. So next time you see it, and some of the women wear it too, you'll see IKEA and Swedish meatballs. Isn't that cool?
Who
I think that's
knew?
so funny. And it
That's
came out of
is
nowhere.
there anything that IKEA cannot do for you?
Right? Except put their own furniture together.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Darn you.
Because they always have those happy and sad faces telling you if you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't matter what expression I get, it turns out wrong. So
The first time I came across a cam lock, which they connects all their stuff together, took me I had to search YouTube and go, what's a cam lock?
what is this for?
All
What
right.
does it want me to do?
All right, so coming up.
All right, we're going to go to Daisy. She has got all kinds of weird, interesting global stuff happening, and she's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor Mortgages Made Simple. Just go to fink-mcgregor.com. Also by Executive Transportation. You can be taken somewhere in elegance and style at any time of the day or night simply by contacting March at executiveutah.com. And Black Diamond Experts. You'll be glad you called an expert. It's electric, plumbing, heating, and air at blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, what's going on today?
Hello everyone, here's a look at national and world news headlines Tuesday, August 8th on GepHardtDaily.com. If North Korea is looking for a military conflict with the US, it may just get its wish. A new poll by the Chicago Council on Global Affairs shows that more than 60% of Americans now support using US troops to fight North Korea should the country invade South Korea. The survey also shows 90% of those questioned believe North Korea should not be allowed to maintain a nuclear weapons program under any circumstances. Nearly 16 years after two hijacked jetliners flew into the World Trade Center, the New York City Medical Examiner has identified the remains of one of the 9/11 victims. Family members were told of the discovery earlier this summer and asked that their loved one's name be withheld so they may grieve in private. About 1,112 people, 40% of the people who died in the September 11th, 2001 attacks, remain unidentified. And 6 months into his presidency, Donald Trump's overall approval ratings have slipped dramatically. 73% of Americans surveyed in a new CNN poll say they can't trust most of what they hear coming from Trump and the White House. 56% overall say they disapprove of Trump's performance, while 38% approve. That's a look at world and national news. You can get all the day's headlines 24/7 on GepHardtDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
All right. The Game of Thrones story is still, we've got a lot of comments because everyone watches it.
I know, Scott and Amy said, oh, good, Dad, we could all dress like Jon Snow. And I'm like, hopefully without all the blood and the death and stuff, but sure. Almost. Look, let me tell you about Black Diamond Experts. The reason why I like them is because they're exactly who they say they are. I always have a problem with like repairmen and stuff because I'm always paranoid they're like ripping me off because they're like, you don't know anything about plumbing or your car or something. So I can totally tell you anything, you'll buy it. And so when you get somebody like this, it makes it a lot easier because somebody who's licensed, bonded, and insured shows up at your house and they are very careful not to disturb anything. They keep everything nice and clean. And when they give you a bid, that's what you're going to pay at the end. There's no messing around with them. That's what you pay. And the nice thing about it is there's literally nothing in the house unless like your chimney explodes that they can't fix for you. They do electric, plumbing, heating, and air. And so they're the guys to call in, and they do this any time of the day or night. They have emergency service. And so it's always nice to write down the number so that you kind of got it ready because I always expect something terrible to happen, usually around 2 a.m. It never happens at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when you're all ready for it. No. If there's going to be raw sewage, it's 2 a.m. So if you go to blackdiamondexpert.com, you can get more information. But these are the guys. These are the guys you can count on.
All right, so this is a weird story. We our tax person came over yesterday.
Oh yeah, Crystal.
Yeah.
Had to sign some stuff. We're not there was actually an accounting error at the IRS, and we actually are getting $227 back.
That's
Does that ever happen to you?
That's our 401k, baby.
Yeah, we're good for it. That's all right.
So they have the FBI and stuff have a new warning out, and it's for different cyber attacks, and it has to do with people who prepare taxes, and evidently write on. Is that a banana? No, it's not. All right, so
I'm not sure what that is either.
ransomware, and let's go over this really quick.
We've talked about ransomware
and I'm
before.
going to talk, and I'm going to get some stuff wrong, so don't yell at your computer that I'm an idiot. Already know. So basically what happens is, and we know a company this happened to, new person came in with their laptop plugged into the network that got infected.
Ooh,
and
not
so
good.
basically what happens is these bad guys, I'm going to call them bad guys, these hackers, come in and takes a lot of your data and encrypt it so you can't get to it.
Your own stuff, your own files, things that you might need to, run your company.
And then you're going to you'll receive an email saying we have encrypted your data and we don't really care about it, but what you need to do, and I think they only were asking for $5,000 in Bitcoin, and they transfer it so you can't find it. So they end up finding this guy in Canada who sells Bitcoins.
Oh, it's funny.
And he goes, "Oh, did you get hacked?"
And he said that's where everybody comes. He says that's my entire business is people who have been caught by ransomware.
So anyway, the company had an audit coming up from National.
Oh.
And so it said you do. First of all, the message you received said the fastest anybody has broken this down and unhacked it is 76 hours. We're giving you 72 to pay up.
I genuinely hate these people. I just think this is the most mean-spirited and hateful thing ever in the world.
So anyway,
It's just so mean.
They got the Bitcoins, they did this, they sent it off, and then they got another email. And the email had a code. It was 75 characters long. And they said, you have one chance and one chance only to put this in correctly, or everything just goes away.
I could not
Followed by,
do it.
don't screw it up. So 5 people sat around the computer and they were like this. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4.
I'm sorry, my hands would be shaking too hard. I couldn't do it.
So they went through the whole thing, and then it took, I think it took a week and a half for them to get all their files back, eventually unencrypted.
That's so mean.
So tax preparers.
But that's the trouble with the tax preparers is 1,000 times worse, because here you're talking about the fact that they've got all of the sensitive information of all of these people.
Right.
All of these people, not just like one or two, but it's like household upon household. And that makes it so much worse. I mean, you're getting screwed in, and you weren't even the one who did it. It was your tax preparer.
Right?
That's
all right.
so mean.
All right, so coming up. Where do Utahns go?
When you're going on your vacation, where is it?
I'm going to guess.
You will
I
not
know.
expect this.
I'm going to make a list.
You will not expect this.
It's next.
I can guarantee you. We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, I'm making a list because you're going to tell us where Utahns go on vacation.
All right.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Disneyland,
That's a given.
California.
That's a given.
Nauvoo.
Nauvoo is probably a good
I
one,
would
yeah?
say they go to Nauvoo.
Shoe?
I think they
Sure.
go. I think they go to Baskin Robbins
Well, that's obvious.
because Utahns love ice cream.
That's my staycation.
But I think I'm wrong. You're talking about bigger stuff.
Well, it's interesting. The New York Times actually compiled data from Facebook, and this is really fascinating because you think about this. This really does track the entire minutiae of our lives.
The what?
Minutiae.
I don't
everything
think
we
I
do.
have that. Pshaw.
In any case, so they went where people across all the states were kind of checking in from their vacation spots, right?
Okay.
And so they did this for out of the country vacations.
Oh.
Out of the country
Okay.
vacations. And so I'm thinking like Canada or Mexico would be our most go-to spots, right?
Is it?
They're the closest.
Is
I
it?
think that's a logical one. Here's ours. This is our top list of destinations for international travel. Tonga, Samoa, American Samoa.
Let's stop for a second. That's not a vacation. They're just going home.
Peru
That's where their
and Brazil.
relatives are.
And that's exactly it. They say Tonga may seem like an unusual choice, but we have the highest Tongan population here.
That's true.
In Utah. And so, yeah, a lot of visiting back and forth.
And half of them play for BYU or Utah. because they're huge.
And we love you for that.
I'm not saying they're huge as in like you people. I'm
No,
just
they're
saying
gigantic.
big,
No, the
strong.
football players are big,
Oh my
tall guys.
gosh.
Yeah.
And it's really funny to see national commentators try to say their names. So is there another place, or is that what they're
Peru and
focusing-
Brazil.
Excuse me, what?
Peru and Brazil. After you stop the Samoan Islands and the Polynesian Islands, they go over and they go to Peru and Brazil. Those are the second ones. I'm like thinking France or no. Peru and
What's
Brazil.
Peru known for?
Coffee? No,
Yeah,
that's Colombia.
Yaks up in the things. Like people live in
Woven
tents.
clothing items with those big hats.
I think they eat guinea pigs too.
I don't think they're going there for the guinea pig cuisine.
Probably not. Why are they going to Peru?
Those are the top destinations. More so than like Europe, which I find so bizarre.
Peru?
Yeah, and Brazil.
Brazil, Mardi Gras or Festival.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that's a given.
Yeah.
And
people-
plastic surgery.
What?
Plastic surgery.
Where?
Brazil. Oh yeah, they have a great plastic surgery business.
What do you mean tours?
No. It's plastic surgery tourism. You go down there, you get your cheeks lifted or tucked or enlarged, or your bust, whatever,
Right.
and then you just kind of like recuperate there and go see a few of the sites. And
How do you
usually-
recuperate when you're like just had surgery?
Well, everyone's used to that, so
Doesn't
you can
sound
go around
like
to some of the
fun.
sites, and they're used to bandaged up people.
Do they have a travel agency that books these?
Yes, no. Plastic surgery tourism is a booming industry. India is a big one for that. So is South Africa, and then of course Brazil. Why are you looking at me like that? These are the same procedures you could get in the United States, except for let's say they would be
Done by doctors?
no. $50,000 here, and it's done by the same sort of accredited doctors in these other countries. South Africa, hello. And except for they can do it for say 12,000. So even if you count in costs for travel, it's like cheaper. Plastic surgery tourism, it's big.
So it's like I went to Africa and all I got were these.
And your husband's going, that's enough. That was plenty.
That's crazy.
That's all he needs.
Is that true?
Yeah. Really? You've
Right.
never heard about plastic surgery tourism before?
No. I keep thinking.
Really?
That is just the weirdest thing.
All right, let's move on.
right.
What do you want? Why does it say hogs?
Hogs.
Like the pigs?
Yeah.
Okay. What about
Alabama.
Alabama and the hogs.
If you ever had pigs and a barbecue and stuff, they're really good. Mm-hmm. And what you didn't know is the feral pigs. This is going to be boring to a lot of people. There they are, the feral pigs.
They look adorable.
They
They're
don't
all
look.
snuggly.
They don't look so bad.
Oh, they're precious.
Pigs are the most destructive invasive species in the United States, causing an estimated $1.5 billion in damage to crops, property across, uprooting farmers' fields and degrading water quality,
Really?
and outcompeting local animals for food. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And do you know they can reproduce at not even a year old? They can have piglets.
So they're basically putting rabbits in for a run for their money then.
Pretty much.
Wow. So what do they do with all of
They
this?
shoot a lot.
Oh, well, yeah.
But
yeah.
then they started trapping them. 80%. Oh, this is the weird. I told you this wasn't going to go anywhere. You have to kill 80% of them just to stop their population from growing.
No way.
There is no way to do that.
80%.
That's all I have. I just thought it was an interesting pig story. But there's an open season if you want to go down and target practice, and I don't mean that to be cruel, but Alabama's looking for you along with Texas and a bunch of other southern deals.
That seems troubling. Thank you, dear.
This just in.
Oh, yeah. Popular operations and procedures for medical tourism. Thank you, dear.
All right. Let's see.
Read it.
Allergy treatments. Addiction treatments.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cancer treatment. Cardio.
One of the things that they're doing for addiction
Dental,
treatment is
eyes.
they don't really find this effective in the United States, but what they do for addiction treatment is they'll literally put you to sleep for like 2 weeks or something, and to move you past all of the physical withdrawal symptoms of addiction so that you kind of basically sleep through it.
Where have I been?
How did you not know this?
Infertility, hair loss, organ transplant, surgery. What?
Neurosurgery. Obesity treatment is a big one.
What's sexual medicine?
Sexual medicine would be like maybe penis enlargement, different things like that.
Okay, that's enough.
You know how they do that, by the way? There's actually 2 bands of
Attendants
that run through the organ.
Okay, I'm just going to do that. Stop talking. My mom watches. Your mom watches this show.
I know. Do you remember our friend Dr. Russell? This is my brother-in-law David's friend. He's from South Africa, and actually, when John Bobbitt had his organ cut off, he was in Virginia at the time. So was I, and he was actually called to consult on the case and asked if he would reattach said organ to John Bobbitt, and he refused because he didn't want to be in the publicity, because let's admit it was a whole weird thing. But I was asking Dr. Russell, but he goes, "Oh, the penis is a very rudimentary organ." But you knew that. You gonna come back in?
Are you done?
Yeah, I was just talking about Dr. Russell and his theories on the...
Okay, are you done?
I'm done! But you all agree with me.
Oh.
It's not like you to be so squeamish.
Time to talk eclipse. Can't find my story. Boy, the sun's up there. Look, scientists. Okay. You don't really need these now, but I just thought it's a good look. All right, here Brian's had the fire we had,
Which
and you
was
can
insane.
see look at the smoke. Look at the damage the fire is doing. Well, here is a concern that people are having. And that is the fact that the eclipse is coming. And what does that mean? It's coming at the peak of wildfire season.
Well, I've been wondering, because we don't even have any wildfires really particularly close to us right now, do we? And we're incredibly hazy. You can see it anywhere you go.
Here's the problem. Thousands and thousands and thousands
Oh, by
and
the
thousands.
way, Marie Tully just says we rock those glasses.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Marie.
And thousands and thousands and thousands of people are going to go see the eclipse.
Oh, tens upon hundreds of gazillion thousands, right?
So, and they're all going to crowd into that 70-mile-an-hour path, 70-mile path that goes across the United States. And we're fortunate to be very close to it. Idaho is in one of the dead centers. So if you think of Rexburg or something like that up there, you're going to have all these people coming in who aren't experienced being around tinder and dangerous places. A cigarette butt thrown out the window, spark, anything that can happen could start a fire. And all these people all of a sudden are coming in, and that's what they're worried about. Plus the fact that the smoke could
then obscures.
your once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
So this is where they're talking about trails and trailheads and paths and hiking places that are going to be closed for this because of danger.
We really don't want you setting the mountain on fire. You can just sit there in your trailer. Kind of that like that.
Yeah. Here's what they're
Can't blame
suggesting,
them.
and this gets a little scary.
Hit me.
All right. Number one, know the restrictions of the fires and the places, fire restrictions where you're going.
Given, yeah.
Number two, bring extra food, especially extra water with you. So many people traveling in such dry, hot conditions will dehydrate themselves. And if you were stuck by a fire for a long period of time, you may endure it. This is...
Well, no, but they're saying the emergency crews may not be able to get you as quickly as they ordinarily would if there's like 50 bazillion more people than they're used to.
Right?
Why is there a picture of the beer and the?
That's what's going to happen to you.
Okay.
You're gonna dry up and go just all that for an eclipse.
Are they really suggesting you bring extra beer? I thought maybe water or perhaps Gatorade would be.
That's already happening.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
Go on.
And they're talking about unsafe. You have breathing issues, asthma, and things like that. The air quality is going to be terrible. And then again, the view, it's not gonna be pretty if you don't know where you're going. So it's basically survival tips to go see an eclipse.
That kind of like dulls my excitement for this whole process.
What are we gonna do?
I'm working on something.
Are you?
Yes, where we might go to the top of a very tall building here in the city
Really?
to view it there
Really?
with a few other people.
Really? Which one?
Not going to tell you
Why?
because I haven't gotten it approved yet. But if we do it, then you get to come with us.
Really? So it's a
Take
big
some
bill.
friends with us.
All right. Well, that's
No,
it.
it will be a select party.
That wraps up Eclipse Talk on the Todd and Erin Morning stream at GetParkDaily.com.
And why?
Huh?
And why?
Because
We're scientists.
Hey, this happened on our street. This happened on our street on Sunday.
This was so cool.
This is crazy. Cyclists racing, pro race, ripping down our streets. Here, take a look at this. And I'm talking steep. This is steep. It doesn't look that steep. It's steep.
Todd's
Look at
greatest
them.
fear.
Oh my
Tell them
gosh.
your greatest fear because you were like on tenterhooks the entire time.
Couldn't watch it. One of the guys in front would fall, and then everyone would just...
You know what I found entertaining about it? The bike riders the racers were incredible. I mean, you can see from
Yeah,
the line they're
yeah.
amazing. There were about 20 times more like motorcycles
Yeah,
and
support.
cars
Support.
and support staff
Look at that.
than there was bicyclists, which I found sort of like, I don't know, vaguely entertaining.
There
but
you
it was
go.
an amazing sight.
Todd and
wasn't it?
Erin Morning stream. You guys take care. We'll see you tomorrow morning on GetParkDaily.com.